right, so we have another opportunity to visit with some church members, and I found some of our newest members to talk to today, and I think they're going to stick around a little while. Dick and Winnie Myrick, thank you for coming out here, and I'm so glad to see you. I haven't seen you since
March.
Was it March?
March, yeah.
March.
So what have the two of you been up to?
Well, we're not your newest. We may be your oldest.
I
so.
know. I almost said visitors, but I think
but we're still around.
You're well known and well loved by the church family, and I can't imagine Northwest without the two of you. And it's been hard not seeing you.
It has been, yeah.
For some months.
So it's been hard not seeing our friends, all our church friends.
Our family,
Yeah.
church family, absolutely.
Yeah. So I've been asking everybody, how has your life changed over these last 7 months since March? Where have you been, and what have you been up to?
Well, I haven't been anywhere, and I hadn't been up to anything. But other than that, it was a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But where have you been? At the farm?
Been at the farm, staying at the farm.
Yeah.
I spend most of my days on my back deck with my radio on my phone, listening to country music or semi-classical music, and watching the birds and being grateful.
Yeah. That doesn't sound too bad.
No, it's not.
Now, don't the deer normally eat all your flowers, though, Winnie?
Eat my flowers?
Don't the deer eat your flowers every year, right? Winnie?
Deer? Oh my goodness, yes,
Yeah.
of course. And by staying at the farm as much as we have, I've seen, it's like a zoo. We have deer, turkeys, of course, chipmunks, squirrels, rabbits. This year, for the first time, I really saw a rabbit, little bitty, about this size, and watched it grow to be way too big.
Wow.
All
Very
in our
fat
backyard.
and very well nourished.
Uh-huh.
And there's not a flower in our yard.
So you really grow the flowers for the animals.
Well, they think so.
Yeah.
It's
right.
sort of like our bird feeders. They're actually called hawk feeders because there's a hawk that hangs around the bird feeder.
Yeah. Well, and we've had such a beautiful spring, too.
Yes.
And even the summer was pretty mild,
It
so
was.
you've had
It
a
was.
pretty
Yeah,
good,
we've been very fortunate.
pretty good
that
scenery.
we
Yeah.
also have a place we can get out and get fresh air and sunshine, take walks.
Yeah.
Walked almost every day.
So maybe that answers my second question: is how have you experienced God in this time, which has been challenging for everybody? So how have you felt connected to God, and how are you nurturing your spiritual life? And I know the Wi-Fi connection for you guys is a bit challenging on Sunday
Yes.
mornings, but
Yes. That's the thing I've missed most is sermons and being here and together. I don't hear well, and so it's been a challenge for me
that has, yeah.
to hear. So
Well, I'm very fortunate in when I'm sitting on the back deck, the way the trees grow out our backyard and into the woods, the deep woods, they sort of growing like a cathedral.
yes.
And so you sit there on your deck and you feel like you're in a forest cathedral. It's just very spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
There's this thing people have, actually one of our visitors, John Christensen, told me about it. In Japanese, they call it forest bathing.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's about going out into nature and kind of connecting with
Yes.
the natural world. And you get to forest bathe
Yeah. Oh yeah.
every
Yes,
day.
And nature comes to us. That's the beauty.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard not to feel, it's the old story. How do we deserve this? We don't deserve this. We don't deserve to be in this place.
Yeah.
And just to think about all the sorrow and all the angst in the world, and
Yeah.
people who are in one room have had to stay in
Yeah,
one room,
right.
or who have just moved and don't have a supporting community. It's, and for me, I guess in spiritual growth, just been thinking about and praying for little Charlotte, Roland.
Yeah.
And it has made me think, in doing that, about the vulnerable children in the world.
Yeah.
And the children, and our own children around us. And we have a brand new little bitty great-grandchild, number 10.
When are you going to stop?
Hey, it ain't up to me anymore. I've done my job.
10 great-grandchildren.
Yes, but we haven't been able to see them. And of course, we just love having them around. So anyway, I've been very...
We miss seeing them. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do.
I know.
Very aware of children.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard from George today that Charlotte's home for a while now.
Yes,
and,
we saw that.
And that she is remarkably upbeat, and George credits Barbara, you know, and her faith. And he said she has like 1,000 prayer warriors.
Yeah.
Praying for her.
And impressive, pretty
Yeah.
remarkable.
And they appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to head to Memphis, I guess, in a little bit for the chemotherapy, St. Jude's. So I told you before we started that someone had to remind me that this is the 60th anniversary of Northwest Presbyterian Church this year. And so I wanted to ask you, is it just me, or have these last 12 years been just about the best?
Tim, are you fishing for a compliment?
I'm casting a net. No, but you've been, the two of you have been a part of this church for all 6 decades, right?
Yeah.
Richard has.
Yeah.
Well, all
we
6
have.
of them,
Yeah.
They've all been good, otherwise we wouldn't still be here.
Yeah.
You know, they're all very great. And the greatest thing are the people and the preachers. And the love that this, and support that this church has given us over the years.
Yeah.
Well, and like, she chirps, like any family, we've had our ups and downs. But the pain and the hurt feelings and all the things that happen when you have a group of people together hasn't, while painful, somehow, you know, I've never felt that God has, you know, washed his hands of us.
Yeah. I sure hope not.
No.
And you know, it's interesting, in the New Testament, there's no concept of private religion, that we are made to be in community, even though Paul's very clear, community is hard.
Yes.
And for the two of you to be in a faith community for 6 decades, seeing people come and go, and not just within your own family, but within the church, and you know, challenges and struggles, and yet this abiding faithfulness and what we learn about God and about ourselves in church. I remember one pastor said, you know, if you can find God in church, you can find God anywhere.
Anyway.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, and that it's...
Instead of on the golf course.
Instead of on the golf course.
Well, it's like I've told several people over the years that they have been elected to be on a session at one church or another. And I said, well, I have one piece of advice. Don't let being on the session interfere with your faith. So that's sort of like being in church. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is, Tim, we spent a little bit of time on the phone talking with some of our very good friends who are having serious health issues. And we've been very fortunate in that respect.
Yeah, you have.
We really have.
You have. Well, I was going to ask you what you're thankful for, but you've kind of shared a number of those things. One thing I'm thankful for is your involvement with Jacob's Ladder, which started with a lunch in
it was
Roswell.
a trick. It was
I wouldn't call it a trick. It started with the lunch, and then an invitation for you to come see this school. And then now the two of you have just opened your hearts and your home and your life to Jacob's Ladder, and now we have the campus up there. And you probably know more than I do kind of what they're struggling with, what their challenges are, kind of how they're doing. And I'd love to hear just a little bit about sort of
Well, I
that
stay
work.
in touch with Amy Odell, the founder and the director, and with some of her other staff members. I have no official capacity at Jacob's Ladder, just as a friend. But when you walk in there the first time and see the faces of the students and to see the faces of the faculty and her staff, that it really is very impressive, and you won't ever forget it.
Yeah.
And so you just can't divorce yourself from that, you know.
Well, that's what happened to me the first time I went, and then it happened to you the first time you went.
Yeah.
And they're doing kingdom work.
They
know?
really
Yes.
are. They really are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're very open about it, and they're very good about it. And they opened their doors yesterday. They're back in school.
Up on the hill?
Well, I don't know up on the hill, but they are at the Roswell campus.
So that's new for them. So they're back.
They're back, right,
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's an
been-
amazing job that they do, and they can't decide how best to expand. They're getting all sorts of opportunities to expand all over the world, not just in Atlanta, but it's very impressive.
Well, it's so good to see.
And I'm blessed to have been able to be a part of it, thanks to you.
Well, and you've done a lot to help them, I think, expand in Roswell, and this, it wouldn't have happened without your help, God working through you.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've got 2 bales of hay in my car to go up there for the fall festival.
Well,
That's
good.
why I'm coughing.
The hay?
Yes, in the
Yeah.
back seat.
It's just a treat to talk to you.
Well,
I mean, we've been talking some, but to see you face to face, and
Oh, it's
I
so
look forward to the day we
wonderful.
can get back to the sanctuary. The session voted on Sunday that we're going to try to make November 1st.
good.
But there are a lot of things that we
Oh,
have
yeah.
to do, and
Yeah.
it's not going to feel normal,
No,
No.
but it'll be good to be together,
be closer to normal than it is now.
to be closer to normal. Yeah, and it'll be good to be together. Oh, one thing that I'll let everyone know and let you know in this video is that our organist Morrow is going to be working with the St. Louis Opera, and he's going to be leaving on Monday, and he's going to be there for a month, and so we're trying to find a
wonderful.
fill-in organist, and we happen to get William Fred Scott for a month.
Oh, good.
Oh, how
So-
That's great.
nice.
That's
So
very
that'll be a lot
fortunate.
of fun, and
Yeah.
he'll get to play the new organ.
Is it in?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, but we hope in the next 3 weeks or so that we'll have it. But it'll be a lot of fun to have Fred back. Like I said to Fred, it'd be good for you to come back to the place where you really got your first big break.
I know he appreciated that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Tim,
So we're happy
very-
for Morrow, and
Yeah.
we're
Yes,
happy for
that's wonderful.
Fred, and so,
Morrow is a real talent
yeah.
and a
Yeah.
good guy.
Well, it's great to see you. It's good to have you here, and I hope to get to see you in person in worship whenever you feel like you should do that. And I think you are the people you're the longest commuters to church when you come. I know Furman and Linda had you beat,
Yeah,
Yes,
they did.
they did.
Yeah.
but
They
now you
did.
are. And
Yes.
and here you're still here after almost 60 years, and I hope we have another 60, and someone else is going to get to carry that torch. That torch.
Well, we're very fortunate and very flattered that you asked us to do this today.
Yeah, I know people are going to be happy.
Yeah.
So we love you.
All right.
And it's good to see
we
you.
love the church and you.
Thanks, everybody.
As long as your sermons don't deteriorate a lot, we'll be here from now on.
They're going to get worse.